The sect of Qumran an expanded exploration of beliefs, history, rituals, archaeology, and their legacy. The story of Qumran and the sect that resided there, likely the Essenes, is an intricate narrative of religious devotion, ritual purity, asceticism, and apocalyptic expectation. This sect's practices and beliefs provide a window into the broader religious diversity of the Second Temple period, 516 BC, 70 CE, and the ideological tensions that existed within Judaism at the time. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls and the archaeological excavations of the Qumran site offer us a rare glimpse into a community that chose to separate itself from the mainstream to pursue spiritual purity and await divine intervention. Origins and history of the sect at Qumran. The origins of the Essenes, or the sect believed to have inhabited Qumran, are difficult to pin down exactly, but their formation seems to coincide with the growing dissatisfaction among certain Jewish groups with the ruling priesthood in Jerusalem during the Hellenistic period c. 2nd century BC. The sect likely arose in opposition to the increasingly politicized role of the Jerusalem temple, which they saw as corrupt, particularly under the influence of the Hasmonean dynasty. This led to their separation from mainstream Judaism, possibly around the time of the Maccabean Revolt, 167 to 160 BC, a Jewish uprising against Hellenistic influences. By retreating to the remote desert near the Dead Sea, the Qumran sect embraced a life of isolation from the religious and political struggles in Jerusalem. Here, they formed a tight-knit community devoted to strict religious observance and the anticipation of the Messianic age. Development of the Qumran community. The Qumran community, as suggested by both the archaeological evidence and the Dead Sea Scrolls, followed a highly structured lifestyle. They believed that by separating themselves from the impure practices of the world, they could prepare themselves to be part of a righteous remnant that would usher in the coming kingdom of God. The community rules scroll outlines their laws, indicating a hierarchical society led by a small group of priests and leaders who guided the rest of the members. Their retreat to Qumran reflected a conscious decision to live in strict adherence to what they believed to be God's will, isolated from the religious and political establishments of Jerusalem. The sectarian texts found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, such as the Damascus document and the Manual of Discipline, show that they adhered to their own interpretation of Jewish law, one that emphasized ritual purity, communal ownership, and apocalyptic expectations. Beliefs and theology. Dualism and apocalypticism. At the heart of the Qumran sect's theology was an intense dualism. The group saw the world as divided between the forces of light and darkness, or good and evil, and believed they were the children of light, chosen by God to fight against the forces of darkness in an apocalyptic battle. The War Scroll, one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, describes in great detail the eventual cosmic confrontation between these two forces, which they believed would result in the victory of the righteous. This apocalyptic worldview placed a strong emphasis on messianic expectations. The sect believed in the coming of a Messiah, or possibly two Messiahs, one a kingly figure descended from David, and another a priestly figure who would lead the people in proper worship of God. The sect's messianic beliefs reflected dissatisfaction with the religious and political leadership in Jerusalem, which they saw as illegitimate and corrupt. Purity and the mikvah. One of the most striking features of the Qumran sect's daily life was their obsession with ritual purity. The community believed that spiritual and physical cleanliness were prerequisites for communion with God. To this end, the mikvah, ritual bath, became a central element of their religious life. Archaeologists have uncovered a number of these baths at the Qumran site, indicating the regularity with which members purified themselves. The mikvah is a pool of naturally collected water, often rainwater, used for religious purification. Immersing oneself in a mikvah symbolized a transition from a state of impurity to one of purity. For the Qumran sect, this was not merely a symbolic act, but a vital part of their daily spiritual life. Archaeological evidence of the mikvah at Qumran suggests that these baths were used frequently, possibly multiple times a day, to maintain a state of ritual cleanliness. Their emphasis on purity extended beyond physical cleanliness to spiritual purity. The sectarian texts found in the Dead Sea Scrolls emphasize the need for moral purity and strict adherence to the law, which they interpreted in a way that often went beyond the traditional interpretations of mainstream Judaism. Communal life and asceticism. Life at Qumran was marked by asceticism, a rejection of personal wealth and material comforts. Members of the community likely renounced their possessions upon joining the group, committing to a life of shared resources and communal living. The Community Rule Scroll describes how members were required to hand over all personal belongings to the community. Meals were eaten together, often as a form of religious ceremony, and the community shared all their resources. While some ancient sources suggest that the Essenes practiced celibacy, archaeological evidence from Qumran does not conclusively support this idea. Some scholars believe that only part of the community was celibate, while others may have included families, as evidenced by the remains of women and children found in nearby cemeteries. The daily routine at Qumran likely revolved around study, prayer, and work. The community saw itself as a spiritual army preparing for the end of days, and their lives were governed by strict rules of behavior that emphasized communal harmony, spiritual discipline, and obedience to the leadership. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a historical and theological treasure. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered between 1947 and 1956 in caves near Qumran, have been heralded as one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. These scrolls, written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, offer an unparalleled glimpse into the religious thought and practices of a sect that separated itself from mainstream Judaism during the Second Temple period. Types of texts found. The Dead Sea Scrolls consist of several categories of texts. 1. Biblical manuscripts. These include copies of almost every book of the Hebrew Bible, with the notable exception of the Book of Esther. Many of these manuscripts are the oldest known versions of biblical texts, dating back as far as the 3rd century BCE. 2. Sectarian texts. These documents reflect the beliefs, practices, and rules of the Qumran community. Some of the most important include the Community Rule, Manual of Discipline, a detailed description of the sect's rules, including initiation rites, communal meals, and disciplinary procedures. The War Scroll, a vivid description of an apocalyptic battle between the sons of light and the sons of darkness. The Damascus Document, another important sectarian text that outlines the community's beliefs and legal interpretations. The Temple Scroll, an expansive document detailing a vision of a future temple and its functions, reflecting the community's interest in maintaining ritual purity. 3. Pseudepigraphical and apocryphal works. These texts include writings not found in the canonical Hebrew Bible, such as the Book of Enoch and the Jubilees, which were important to the community's theology. Significance of the scrolls. The scrolls have revolutionized the understanding of ancient Judaism by revealing the diversity of Jewish thought during the Second Temple period. Before their discovery, scholars largely relied on the writings of later Jewish texts, such as the Talmud, and the New Testament for understanding this period. The Dead Sea Scrolls, however, provide direct evidence of the theological disputes and variations within Judaism, highlighting the sect's emphasis on ritual purity, messianic expectations, and communal living. Moreover, the scrolls have shed light on the development of the Hebrew Bible. Many of the biblical manuscripts found at Qumran are significantly older than any previously known copies, revealing the evolution of the biblical text and showing that different versions of certain books existed simultaneously. Archaeological excavations at Qumran. Excavations at Qumran, led initially by Father Roland de Vaux in the early 1950s, revealed the physical remains of the community. The layout of the site, along with the material culture discovered, supports the view that Qumran was home to a sectarian Jewish community focused on religious observance. Key archaeological findings include 1. Mikvot, ritual baths. The discovery of multiple mikvot highlights the community's obsession with ritual purity. 2. Cisterns and water systems. Despite being located in an arid desert, Qumran had a sophisticated water system. Aqueducts were used to channel water from nearby seasonal streams, wadis, into large cisterns, ensuring a steady supply of water for drinking, washing, and ritual purification. 3. Communal buildings. Excavations uncovered communal dining halls, kitchens, and a large room that many believe served as a scriptorium, a place where members of the community copied and studied religious texts. Inkwells and benches were found in this room, suggesting that the production of religious manuscripts was a central activity at Qumran. For cave dwellings, many of the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in nearby caves, likely used by members of the community for storage or temporary refuge. The end of the Qumran community. The community at Qumran likely came to an end around 68 CE, during the First Jewish-Roman War. The Roman legions, advancing to quell the Jewish revolt, appear to have destroyed the settlement, as evidenced by the layer of ash and Roman arrowheads found at the site. The inhabitants of Qumran likely fled into the surrounding wilderness, hiding their precious scrolls in the caves before the Romans arrived. The eventual fate of the sect remains uncertain. While some may have survived the destruction of their settlement, others may have perished during the war or dispersed into other Jewish communities. Their writings and religious ideas, however, survived and continue to offer valuable insights into Jewish thought during a critical period of history. Legacy of Qumran and the Dead Sea Scrolls. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls has had a profound impact on our understanding of ancient Judaism and the origins of Christianity. The sect's apocalyptic vision, emphasis on purity, and communal lifestyle share some similarities with early Christian communities, leading to significant scholarly debate about the connections between the two movements. For modern Judaism, the Dead Sea Scrolls provide an important window into the diversity of thought within ancient Jewish practice and theology, showing that the early centuries of the Common Era were marked by vibrant religious debate. In conclusion, the story of Qumran and its sect, their meticulous attention to ritual purity, their apocalyptic beliefs, and their ultimate fate in the tumult of the First Jewish-Roman War, reflect the richness of Second Temple Judaism. Through the Dead Sea Scrolls and archaeological research, their voice continues to resonate through history, providing us with an invaluable record of ancient thought and devotion. Polyspeaks for You incorporates voice control features that allow users to perform essential actions like opening, saving, and creating new documents, as well as interacting with font and document editing dialogues. This is particularly helpful for individuals with disabilities, enabling hands-free operation and more accessible content management. Below are some of the voice control functionalities designed for ease of use. 1. Voice-commanded document handling. Open document. Users can say commands like open document, followed by the file name or location, and Poly will open the document for them. Save document. Commands like save document as or save allow the user to save their work without needing to manually click on buttons. Poly can also handle saving with specific file names or locations as dictated. A new document. A simple voice command such as create new document or start new file will initiate a fresh document in the app. A closed document. Commands like close document or exit can be used to close the current document. 2. Font dialog voice controls. Font style. Users can control font settings by saying change font to Arial or set font at Times New Roman. This would change the selected text's font style. A font size. Commands like increase font size or decrease font size adjust the text size according to user preferences. A font color. Users can use commands such as set font color to red or change font to blue to personalize the text color. 3. Voice-commanded document editing. A text formatting. Commands like bold text, italicized text, underline text, or strikeout text allow users to edit their document easily. For example, saying bold this text will apply bold formatting to the selected text. Alignment. Users can command alignment changes by saying align left, align center, or align right. A text insertion. A user can say insert text, and the software will insert the given text at the current cursor position. A text navigation. Commands such as go to the top, scroll down, or move to the next paragraph enable users to navigate the document without the need for a mouse or keyboard. 4. Voice-activated help and assistance. Help commands. Users can ask questions like, "What can I do?" or "Help me with saving" to receive guidance on specific tasks. Poly can offer step-by-step instructions based on voice queries. A undo/redo. Voice commands such as undo or redo let users correct mistakes or revert to previous actions in their document. 5. Advanced features for accessibility. Speech recognition training. For improved accuracy, Poly can guide users through the Windows speech recognition training process, adapting to their voice patterns and improving dictation accuracy. A text-to-speech for editing. Users can have text read aloud to them while editing, making it easier to spot errors and refine their documents. These voice-controlled features make Poly Speaks for You an accessible tool for individuals with disabilities, particularly those with visual impairments, mobility issues, or other conditions that limit their ability to use traditional input devices. The hands-free operation helps users maintain independence and improve their document management and editing experience. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to stay updated with more content. The creator of Poly Speaks for You has always been driven by a passion for giving a voice to those who need it most. Whether it's through text-to-speech technology or voice recognition, the goal has always been to create tools that help individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, communicate and interact with the world in a way that is meaningful and empowering. The stories shared, such as those about the sailors aboard the HMS Victory, are not just about reliving history, they are about the power of voice. Through Poly Speaks for You, the creator saw an opportunity to use storytelling as a medium to convey courage, strength, and resilience, much like the sailors of the past. These stories are intended to inspire and engage users, reminding them of the importance of their voices, both literally and metaphorically. The idea behind these stories is to showcase how technology, particularly speech technology, can be a tool for preserving history, while also empowering users with the capability to share their own narratives. By blending history with technology, the creator of Poly Speaks for You aims to demonstrate how powerful a voice can be in shaping and sharing our world, past and present. In a sense, these stories represent more than just entertainment. They are a way for the creator to give a voice to history, to connect with users in a deeply human way, and to remind them that their voices matter, whether they are telling their own stories or those of others. The creator's work in developing Poly Speaks for You is never just about making a functional tool. It was about making sure that every voice had the power to be heard. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to stay updated with more content. This content has been adapted from the powerful features of Poly Speaks for You, South Africa's leading accessibility software. Learn more at www.polyspeaksforyou.co.za. We invite you to support this meaningful dyslexic initiative, crafted and developed by an individual who personally understands the challenges of dyslexia.